No idea. So, okay, let's get started. Do we know what an energy vampire is? Do we know what that is? Can anybody drop that in the chat? Tell me what an energy vampire is. Tell me what you think it is. And yes, while we wait for payments to roll in, if anybody wants readings, yes, of course, I'm still doing readings, but we're in the middle. We're going to do some chit chat in between. And thank you for subscribing to YouTube. I appreciate y'all. Yes, make sure y'all subscribe to YouTube, Patreon for the Spiritual Development Circle group, if that is something you want to be involved in. It is every Saturday at 2 p.m. An EWE energy that drains the shiz out of you. Yo, you know, that's a good way to describe it. That's a good way to describe it. Okay. And how many of us have experienced what an energy vampire is? Let me know. They hook on the energy cords or siphon energy from people. Sometimes you don't even know them. Yes. And then we'll talk a little bit later about what my mentorship is. My ex. I'm dead. Okay. So what is an energy vampire? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Energy vampires are people who tend to prey on highly sensitive, empathic, and happy people and feed off of their kindness and compassion until they leave them drained of their energy. There are people who take more energy from you instead of sharing the energy or giving some back. Definition of an energy vampire right there. Okay? Now, how many of us know an energy vampire? There's a lot of them on TikTok. A lot of them that pose as spiritualists. I'll tell you that much. Because if you leave alive and you feel more drained than you were when you came into the live, red flag alert, energy vampire. Red flag alert. Okay? If you leave alive and you are more drained, energy vampire. Watch it. Okay? Always pay attention to your energy levels, which is why mindfulness meditation is so important, because your mindfulness of, like, for example, when I come on here, when I come on live, before I come on live, I sit and, like, I do my makeup, but while I'm doing my makeup, I'm sitting here and I'm being mindful of my energy levels. How do I feel? How am I feeling like? What if I'm doing? What am I doing? What am I feeling? How do my legs feel? How is my energy flowing? Let me see how this is going. Let me feel how my energy, how much it expands, how much it, like really being mindful of your energy. What if it's not the host of a live, but a bit player? Yes, that one too. It doesn't have to be a host of a live at all. It could be someone in the live that's watching the host. But that's kind of something that you have to use your own discretion with, because if that's something, let's say you're encountering, right? You're encountering this every single time you go live, or you watch this person on live, you're encountering this every single time, and this person is always there, then you don't need to be there. And it's not necessarily your job to be like, this is an energy vampire. They have to figure that out themselves. So let's talk about some examples of an energy vampire. Nah, playa, I love you. Let's talk about some examples. I have experienced draining from the hosts of lives. I've experienced that from the hosts of lives. If you go into a live and you're questioning what the fuck is happening, for example, if y'all come into my live and I'm angry about something, I'm going to tell you that I'm angry about something, right? I'm going to say, I'm a little upset today. Things are kind of getting me a little off balance, but I'm going to be okay. Let's talk about why I'm upset, maybe in an indirect way, right? Because the last time we learned about toxic positivity, and those people are types of vampires too, because if they cannot show emotion, right? If they cannot show the negative side of their feelings, right? They can't show that they're mad. They can't show that they're sad. They can't show that they're upset. Then, is this really a life that you want to be a part of? You want to be a part of a life of a spiritualist that is going to keep it real with you? Or are you going to keep it, or are you going to be a part of a life of a spiritualist that's going to lie to you and pretend that everything's always okay? Because if they're lying to you, they're lying to themselves. I said it, and I will stand by that. So we'll talk about how we cut the connections of an energy vampire in a few. Let's talk about some examples of an energy vampire, okay? So the melodramatic victim, all right? This is a person that it may seem like they try to one-up your feelings, they try to one-up your struggles, okay? They try to one-up your struggles by changing the conversation into making it about how hard life is for them. How many of us know these types of people? The melodramatic victim. They try to one-up your struggles by changing the conversation into making it about how hard life is for them. Let's say you go to vent to somebody. Good morning, my love. Let's say you go to vent to somebody, okay? And you're like, yo, I had a really hard day at work. They really annoyed me today. They were running me all over, running me ragged, running me all around the place. And this person, instead of like, yo, that sounds like a badass day. I'm sorry you had a bad day. I'm sorry that your day sucked. I'm sorry. Instead they go, well, I mean, it could have been worse. It could be like me who blah, 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 blah. And then boom, the conversation's about them. Am I venting? Or am I listening to you struggle? And if you were to confront, right? If you were to have that confrontation of like, wait, you didn't acknowledge anything I said though. They would sit here and be like, well, I did. I told you that it could have been worse. Why are you not saying anything about what I'm telling you? Why are you not giving me the validation of my own feelings, but they didn't validate yours? I got you, Jenny. So let's talk about, and so these are energy vampires who play the victim, okay? These are the energy vampires that play the victim. They blame others on making you feel guilty or make you feel guilty by talking about your own concerns, okay? The toxic minimizer. Let's talk about the toxic minimizer. Think Regina George from Mean Girls. Every Mean Girl stereotype in the book. This is the person that goes, I mean, you look good for a blonde. There's those types of people. It's those types of people. This is someone who bolsters their own ego, right? By putting you down. This is that type of energy vampire. Someone that bolsters their own ego by putting you down. Someone that gives you backhanded compliments. Pretty much is a mean girl. There was Regina George on my block and she moved out and it's been so nice. Oh my God. One of my friends is totally that, but I always ask what good happened today. That's good. I like that. And then there's the helpless dependent who requires validation on top of validation, on top of validation, on top of validation. These people are super clingy. These people are the ones that depend on you, depend on your personality, depend on your traits because they do not have any of their own. So let's talk about energy vampire signs. What are the signs of an energy vampire? Lack of accountability, number one. Lack of accountability is number one. Feeling the need to one-up you. They're the center of dramatic situations. Okay, thank you, Jeannie. Discussions are dominated by them. They are manipulative. They are bullying. They are negative, so they look to soak up your positive energy by killing the mood or criticizing you, and they are needy. These are energy vampire traits and signs, okay? So make sure, now that we know, right? No wonder I feel bad. Yes, Jenna. So now that we know, how do we deal with them? How do we deal with them? Set boundaries. Set boundaries. Be firm about your boundaries. Adjust your expectations and stop being overly available. And be honest with them. And as much as it sucks to be honest with them, be honest. Because at the end of the day, you have to stay true to who you are. Stay true to who you are. And if you're uncomfortable with how they're speaking to you, if you're uncomfortable with what they're saying to you, if you're uncomfortable with how they're treating you, talk about it. And if they can't handle it, cut them the fuck off. Amen. Amen. Yes, I give too much of myself sometimes. Yes, and it's okay. We all do. All right? Like, there is not a single person who has chosen this lifestyle, because I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it from spiritual journey to lifestyle, because it's not a journey. It's a lifestyle. So there's a lot of people who choose this lifestyle, and what we have learned, what we have to shed is our thought process on how we love people. Because our love, the way that we love, is by giving. And we have to learn that even though we are such beautiful and amazing givers, not everyone deserves that gift, right? It has to be earned. It has to be earned. And that's something that we learn along the way. So don't beat yourself up too much. We all encounter energy vampires. We all encounter the crazies. We call them the crazies. That's what I call them. The crazies. Because everything is all about them all the time. All the time. Don't matter what you do. Don't matter what you say. Somehow the conversation is about them and their struggles and what's going on with them. There is no empathy towards you. They don't give a fuck. They don't. And that's the point of the energy vampire, because we shine so motherfucking bright. They are drawn. It's like moths being drawn to the light. They are drawn to our light. And so they are going to, energy vampires can cause holes in our auric field, right? In our energy field. They can cause holes because they literally suck our energy. They literally do that. So if you've been suffering, let's say for a while you've been going to someone's live, or you've been going to someone's house for like 2-3 days, and every day you leave that house and you're drained, you're exhausted, you're tired, and you just don't feel like doing nothing. It's time to reevaluate. It's exhausting to be around them. Yes. Now, what do you do when you go around someone and you just feel sick to your stomach? What does that mean for you? Because for me, that is also an energy vampire. When I go around someone and I feel sick to my motherfucking stomach, I'm like, oh no, I gotta go. Oh no, I gotta go.